We're Victor and Bethany Rink. We've been married for just over a year, and we started coming to the well in October of 2021. I was living here in the Boulder area after I got a job here, and we met online in January 2020, right before COVID hit, and we dated long distance. After we got married and Bethany moved out here to Colorado, we came to the well, and that was our first church that we visited, and we knew that this was where we wanted to make our church home. We serve in the kids here at the well, and I think part of both of our life stories is we came to Christ at an early age.
The more I thought about it, the more I realized, this would be a really great way for us as a couple to do ministry together. And of course, I think there's always a need to have more teachers and helpers for kids ministry. It was interesting that we started coming right when there was kind of another period of time where you were really building up to explaining By Any Means and the building project. I think though for us, we both grew up with, our families. It's just the normal thing to give in the church and be generous with your time and your resources, and of course it's ultimately what God's given you.
Yeah, I think from my parents' teachings of how it's important to give to the church, and even though I didn't have all my questions answered about By Any Means, who are these two pastors that I don't know much about, and just trusting God and trusting them with how they're going to use the money that we give. So when we started with the By Any Means initiative, we had just gotten married and moved here, and we were thinking about buying a house and all the different expenses that were coming our way. I think the By Any Means initiative really helped to reinforce that everything that we have is God's, and He's letting us use it while we're here, and that giving back to His church and His body is the first important thing to give to. The goals of the By Any Means was to build this new church that was going to be in Boulder for hopefully generations, and bring up new generations of Christians, people who are hearing the gospel. I know one of my personal struggles and idols is feeling safe in my bank account. And when we just got married and we were talking about getting a house, that caused a lot of tension within myself, and kind of that sin bubbling up of wanting to hold on to that safety net and control. And then we're being asked to donate to a church home on top of that. And I think as God has always been, He's shown Himself to be faithful.
Thinking back, I think I can remember times when we would have some interesting finance conversations as a newly married couple. And I think the thought ran through my head like, man, if we didn't have to give to church or missions or something, we'd have even more to spend. But in our marriage, that it was never a discussion of taking that away. Once we had committed to give that amount. Since the By Any Means is going to be coming to a close soon, I think Vic and I would both feel it's still our desire and understanding of our commitment. We're not just gonna, okay, we're done giving. It's a commitment as long as there's the church to give to and people to support and ministry to support. This is something that we will still understand that we need to continue our support.
We're really excited that the well is going to be moving into a church building and having a more permanent home here in Boulder. Especially looking forward to the new kids' classrooms and just the joy that will be for the kids.
I think it's exciting to just be a part of the whole journey of getting the permits and the construction, and looking forward to worshiping there. I'm also excited about the church plant in Vail that is going to be happening. It's great to hear Tanner preach, and I personally love Vail. We got engaged in Vail, so I think that's really cool that the Well is reaching their arms and trying to take the gospel into other dark cities.